Good morning, welcome to the Daily News Podcast. Today is April 7th, 2026.
We start in the Middle East, where tensions are escalating fast. President Donald Trump is warning of what he calls devastating new attacks if Iran does not reopen the Strait of Hormuz by an approaching deadline. U.S. forces are reportedly carrying out some of their heaviest strikes since the conflict began, while Israel has hit Iran's South Pars natural gas field and associated petrochemical facilities, a crucial pillar of Iran's energy sector.
South Pars is essentially the backbone of Iran's domestic power supply and a major source of export revenue. Damaging it doesn't just hurt Tehran, it rattles global energy markets. And the conflict is widening. Hezbollah in Lebanon and the Houthis in Yemen say they've joined coordinated strikes against Israel, raising fears this could tip into a broader regional war. Oil markets are already reacting, with buyers scrambling for U.S. crude as supply risks grow. It's hard to overstate how sensitive Hormuz is. Roughly a fifth of the world's oil passes through that strait. Any prolonged disruption could mean higher gas prices globally within days, not weeks. On the tech and AI front, the arms race is accelerating. Anthropic says its revenue run rate has surged past $30 billion, up from $9 billion at the end of last year. That's explosive growth, and it's backing it up with massive infrastructure deals, expanding partnerships with Broadcom and Google for next-generation AI chips and compute capacity. Meanwhile, Samsung just posted an 8-fold jump in quarterly profit, driven largely by demand for AI-focused memory chips. Cloud providers are still pouring money into high-bandwidth memory, even with geopolitical tensions simmering. But there are warning signs. A review of Microsoft earnings calls suggests CEO Satya Nadella's AI messaging is running ahead of measurable financial returns, raising questions about how much of the current AI boom is priced on promise rather than profit. And in a striking twist, Iran's Revolutionary Guard has reportedly threatened OpenAI's planned Stargate data center project in Abu Dhabi, suggesting it could become a target if U.S. attacks continue. AI infrastructure is no longer just about business, it's becoming geopolitically strategic.
That's the new reality. Data centers and chip fabs are starting to look a lot like oil fields, strategic assets that can shift global power. Back in Washington, the U.S. Supreme Court has cleared the way for the dismissal of Steve Bannon's contempt of Congress conviction. The ruling effectively allows the Trump administration to drop the criminal case tied to Bannon's refusal to comply with a congressional subpoena. It's a significant moment for executive power and could reshape how future administrations respond to congressional investigations.
At the same time, Vice President J.D. Vance is heading to Hungary to support Prime Minister Viktor Orban's re-election bid, underscoring close ties between the White House and Hungary's nationalist leadership. And in migration news, the Democratic Republic of Congo has agreed to begin receiving deportees from the United States this month, signaling a new phase of migration diplomacy between Washington and African governments. A lot of executive muscle being flexed, both at home and abroad. And finally, to space. NASA's Artemis II astronauts have now set a new record for the farthest distance humans have traveled from Earth, surpassing a 56-year-old deep space milestone during their lunar flyby. The mission offers humanity a fresh look at the moon's far side and marks a major step in the U.S.-led return to deep space exploration. This isn't just symbolic. With China accelerating its own lunar ambitions, Artemis II sends a clear geopolitical message: the race to the moon is back on. The data gathered from this mission will shape future crewed landings and long-term lunar infrastructure plans.
It's amazing to think we're breaking records set in the Apollo era. Deep space suddenly feels very current again.
That's your world in about 5 minutes.
Thanks for starting your day with us.
We'll be back tomorrow with more headlines and sharp takes.
Have a great Tuesday.